Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paris. I'm Paris the Connoisseur, and today we're going to be doing a sort of mukbang, I guess you can call it, or whatever, and where I'm going to be eating and discussing some things that, I guess I've encountered or like dealt with in me learning or trying to do hair that either didn't expect or like I just didn't realize people were like that. Also, for the stories I'm talking about, I do have receipts and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about, but I just really don't want these people in some of the situations that I'm talking about to get mad or feel like I'm bad talking them or something when I'm really not. I'm just saying exactly what happened. So depending on what it is, I may insert like a little few clips of, or like pictures that I'm talking about. But yeah, so we're gonna be eating this shrimp pasta and this salad and a little bit of bread. I hope you can see. Ooh. Okay, well that was a little green onion that kind of rolled, and I'm gonna insert a clip of the food so y'all can see what I'm eating. And also I got this little sauce. It kind of tastes like honey mustard to put on my salad, but I don't really know what it is. I don't really eat salad, but here we are. So, oh, also that purple wig, actually I'm gonna go get it real quick. I need y'all to understand it's still for sale. I'm trying to get rid of it. Okay, so this is the shrimp pasta, salad, and bread we'll be having for this mukbang. Also, this sauce, I don't know exactly what it is, but it kind of tastes like honey mustard. And so, yeah, this is what we're eating. You see this wig right here? I need y'all to know it's for sale. It's been for sale. It's 18 inches. It's longer than it looks, basically. And, I'm trying to get rid of it. It's for sale. It's $180. And please don't act like I'm charging that much. I mean, to be honest, if I'm using 613 hair, it's already expensive. And then I had to buy the bottles of dye and everything else. So, if someone wants it, I will gladly ship it to you. Please just, someone get rid of this wig. Alright. Also, we're gonna look at it one more time, give it a little shake. Because you know what, about 5 people had said they wanted it and they either didn't bring me the money or they didn't follow through, or they mysteriously had some crazy circumstance to pop up, and now I'm still left with a wig. Ooh, it's got caught on the little the T-pins. So yeah, wig is for sale. Human hair, frontal wig, 18 inches. So anyways, let me get back to eating and talking. So basically, I'm going to address, I feel like the worst, I'm not going to say the worst clients, but the worst experiences I've had with hair. So I feel like it's 3 big ones. Okay, so my friend, I'm putting salt and pepper on my pasta because it may look seasoned, but I don't feel like it tastes like nothing. So yeah, so basically one of my friends, yeah, I can start with this one because it basically leads into like the next story. One of my friends, basically, I was asking questions because I was like, oh, I know how to make wigs. Y'all want me to use human hair? Do you want closures versus frontals? If I get the hair myself, because I'm trying to see, people keep telling me they want me to make them a wig because they see the wig I have on for myself and they're like, oh, it looks good, whatever. And they're like, oh, can you make me one? And I'm like, sure, bring me the hair. And I kid you not, it's like me asking them to bring me the hair is the most hardest thing in the world. Like it's like I'm asking them for too much for them to just bring me the hair. And I did that because I didn't want to have to police people, do quality control. I don't want me to give you something that I think is good quality and then there you go, you don't take care of it and you're like, oh, well, she gave it to me and then they knotted up the first day and I did this and I did that, and I just got this going on. So that was my first thing. And so one of my friends responded, and then she was like, oh, I need long hair, and I need a frontal, cause my forehead big, and I want baby hairs, this, and that. And she started describing hair like she really wanted a wig, or whatever, right? So I'm like, oh, well, do you want one? And then she was like, yeah, I want it for this. And I was like, all right, fine. So I finished talking to her. We was arranging. I was trying to get some hair, show her that it's cheap or whatever, and make sure it's in the texture that she want. So I ordered the hair, and I was like, okay, it should be in by this day. And by Saturday, I could have been and made your wig, and you could come get it, right? And then she was like, oh, I guess I'll come get it from you. And I'm like, what do you mean you guess? Like, you're gonna come get it from me? And then she's like, oh, probably. And I'm like, so that right there indicated to me that something was wrong. I done wasted my time and my money, basically. And so then I made the wig or whatever. And then after I made the wig, she was like, oh my god, it looks so nice, da 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 da. I had crimped it and everything in the little video I had posted. And she was like, oh, who that wig for? And I was like, it was for you. And I said it was because I felt like, you know, from the things that you said, you basically showed me that you never really intended on paying me for, you know, the wig or the services I was trying to provide or nothing. You know, I ain't saying you wanted it for free, but, you know, you just didn't intend on paying me. And I don't know if it's because you thought I was stupid or what, but there. So then I knew she wasn't trying to pay me or didn't have the money. So in the meantime, I had tried to sell the wig to somebody else, and she was being real weird. She was like, oh, can I get it from, she was like, oh, can I get it from you at this day? I was like, okay, can we meet at like the library or something? And then she's like, oh, can we meet at McDonald's? And I don't get off till 10 at night. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, I ain't finna get beat up over no wig, you know, McDonald's parking lot. Like, how stupid I sound. So there was that. And then she was like, I had went to the place where I was supposed to meet her at. Where my little phone at? I can hear it vibrating. Okay, so I went to the place where I was supposed to meet her at for me to get the money and stuff, and then she didn't show up. And then I texted her and she didn't answer. So then the next day she pulled some crap and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I was at work, blah 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 blah. And I was like, fine, whatever. And then, you know, that just fell through and she didn't answer, give me the money for the wig and everything. So I was like, okay, it is what it is, you know. So the next thing is, I had went and I came back to the girl and I was like, you know what, are you actually gonna pay me for it? Do you still want it? Blah 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 blah. And then she was like, yeah, I still want it. So I left it up there and I was trying to still sell it. And then she was like, oh, I'm gonna get it for moving day and everything. And then she was like, okay, I'm gonna pay you at the end of my little summer job when I get my money and everything. So everybody was getting paid in New Orleans, you know, around that time, you know, because job one and everything had ended. So everybody getting paid. Matter of fact, they had already given you your checks for, like, because, you know, they give you a certain amount of checks because you worked whatever long. And so she still was like, oh, I'm gonna get it. And then, like, finally she said something. She was like, oh, yeah, I just changed my room from like from a shared room to a private room, so now I gotta pay more money. So you could just go ahead and sell the wig. Excuse me. And basically I had went off and I was like, you never intended on paying me. da 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 da, whatever, whatever. And she's like, oh, I had your money and I was gonna bring it to you today, but since you want to do that, you ain't getting nothing, da 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 da, and whatever, whatever. Like, I'm sorry, I'm saying da 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 and whatever, whatever, because it's like you basically went back and forth with me and was telling me you had the money today, but you wasn't gonna bring it to me, and then your mom told you not to bring me the money when your mom is a police officer. So I'm pretty sure, she's gonna, she should be inclined to feel the need to do the right thing, right? But I guess that didn't happen. So it was whatever, and we stopped talking. And then I started trying to sell the wig again, and then this other girl that we know, like she was supposed to get in and she didn't get in, and she was trying to tell me, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't get it right now, my sister stole my money for the wig. And I was like, okay, do you want me to hold it for you? And then she's like, no, you ain't gotta hold it for me, I ain't trying to block your hustle. If somebody else wants to come get it or whatever. And when somebody tells you, like, if y'all learn how to do hair and everything, if they tell you, oh, if somebody else comes before me, just let them do it, that means they don't want it. They don't intend on paying you. They didn't really want it. They just want to talk about something. They want to hear themselves talk. So then after that little situation, I tried to sell it to the next person. I'm sorry. Okay, after that situation, I tried to sell it to this next person in Atlanta, and it was one of my friend's friends. And she was like, okay, how many bundles is in there? Whatever. And I was like, okay, it's two, because I didn't need all three. So she was like, okay, can you sew a third one in? I was like, fine, I'll do it, no problem. And then she was like, all right, how much will it be? How much will it be to ship to me? So I shipped it to her and everything. She got it. When she got it, like, she literally texted me and she's like, oh my god, it came early, I love it, da 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 da, right? Like, oh, I love it, it's perfect, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm glad you're satisfied, whatever. I did, whatever. If you can think of anything that you don't like or that you want to tell me about it, and let me know that I did something so I could improve better. Because I think that was the first wig that I made for someone else, and like I was still using the dome cap at that time instead of using the caps with adjustable straps. Like, by the time I had mailed her the wig, I had started making caps with adjustable straps. So I was like, I felt like my quality of making wig had improved. So I was basically, waiting for her to say, oh, it was on a dome cap, whatever. So she got the wig, and then months go by later, whatever. Keep in mind, I had already asked her, and I'm like, oh, whenever you put the wig on, could you show me or show me a picture or something so I could post on my Instagram? And I asked her that because it was like people who were starting to ask me, they're like, oh, do you have any client pictures? And I'm like, no, I just made the wig and gave them their stuff, and nobody asked me to install it on them, so no, I don't have any install pictures. I'm sorry. So there was that. And then yeah, so I had asked her, and then she was like, okay, I'll send them to you, no problem. And then months go by and she ain't sent me nothing. So then I seen, like, and she was wearing this curly wig at the time, like, up to the time of me bringing it, shipping it to her and everything. So I had looked on her story one day because I didn't realize that, like, she had two Instagrams. And then she was posting this picture of herself in, like, a kind of straight looking wig, like it had a little curl at the bottom or something. And it looked about like the same length as the wig that I just showed you, and I used the same type of hair and everything. And I'm like, oh, that looked like the wig I made her. So I was like, hey Jay, do you have any pictures of the wig that I had made? And then she's like, oh yeah, thanks for the extra frontal, but because I had sent her an extra frontal because she claimed she make wigs too. So I felt like if she didn't like the way that I sewed the frontal on, or like the way that I plucked it, she could have took it loose and started over and plucked it herself, basically. She was like, oh, thanks, that extra frontal really came in clutch. And I was like, okay, you're welcome. And she's like, no, I don't have any pictures of it. Actually, I didn't like the way that you sewed. Excuse me. I didn't like the way that you had sewn the wig, so I took it loose and I sewed it back together. And then I was like, okay. Well, she was like, do you still want the picture of that? And I was like, I said no at first, and then I was like, no, let me just get this picture so I could go about my business. And I was like, sure. And then she was like, she's she had sent me this picture of this matted looking wig, and she was like, oh, this is the wig. And in my mind, I'm like, that can't possibly be what I sent you. And then she's like, oh, it kind of looks like this right now because I use some other types of hair with it besides the type that you had gave me. And I'm like, that still don't look right. She's like, oh, I use wet and wavy. And I'm like, wet, in my mind, I'm like, wet and wavy don't look like that. So I was like, all right. And then she went from saying that she took the wig and took the wig apart and put it back together, and added some other hair. And then she was saying she gave the wig to her mom, and then she was saying her mom wore it to work. Then she was saying her mom didn't wear, she left the house without the wig, and she was gonna send a picture to me later on and everything. And then when she finally sent me a picture, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, this the wig I sent her. This is exactly the same way I made everything. Like, so I'm just sitting here and like, I think when I had looked at her page that day, and I was saying, like, I forgot to mention this, but like, when I was looking on the little picture and I was like, oh, that looked like the wig I made, let me ask about it. It was like something, it was like her caption was like, or I make wigs too. So I was like, I think what provoked me to ask for a picture is, like, besides what I had already said, I'm like, oh, they're gonna be out here thinking that the wig I made for her is the one that she's wearing, because she's saying I make wigs too. So that basically comes off as you taking credit for my work, essentially. It's good. I just want y'all to know that. But it's gonna come off as you taking credit for my work. And if I'm barely getting business because people asking me for my client photos, and I'm like, well, I don't have any, I just have the photo that I made of their wig or whatever. And I'm out here DMing other people, old people, asking them to send me pictures of their wigs and stuff that I made for them. You out here basically lying to whoever follows you, saying that, or implying that you made the wig that's on your head. And I'm just like, well, dang, you know? If you wanted to lie to them, that's fine, but all you had to do was send me the picture so I could know. You know what I'm saying? So I could have the picture that I did it. Because the same people that follow you is not the same people that follow me. So they would have never known you were lying if that's what you wanted to do with your time. And I'm sorry, this video is already long. So I'll just make a part 2 to this video, basically. Bye. Thanks for watching. As y'all can tell, I tried to eat most of my food. There's still a lot left. Sorry. I'll finish the rest maybe in the next piece of mukbang. Bye. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe. And this wig is still for sale. Like, it is. Bye.